everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to bake the perfect chocolate chip cookie. Now, for almost 100 years, chocolate chip cookies have become a true American classic, and while often being considered everyone's favorite cookie, there's no shortage in differing recipes and variations on the iconic dessert. However, my family and I have spent many years perfecting what we believe to be the ideal chocolate chip cookie recipe, and I am here to share it with you. Before we start, however, you'll want to gather the following ingredients and supplies: 2 sticks of butter, preferably salted, 1/3 cup of brown sugar, 1/3 cup of white granulated sugar, 2 large eggs, best if set to room temperature, 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, a half teaspoon of salt, 1 if using unsalted butter, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, a 20-ounce bag or 2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chip morsels, a large mixing bowl, a small bowl to hold the eggs, a mid-sized bowl for the dry ingredient mixture, and 2 parchment-lined baking trays. Ideally, if you're baking in a warmer environment and/or a warmer season, you should leave the butter to sit out naturally to achieve room temperature for a few hours. Or, if you're baking in a colder environment and/or cooler season, like us currently, you should microwave the butter for about 30 seconds to get it to melt. Once ready, pour your sugar and your brown sugar in the same container as the butter. Begin to mix with a hand mixer, or stand mixer if available, until well mixed. When using a hand mixer, make sure you consistently keep the mixer moving, almost dancing within the dough in order to keep it even and thorough. When I'm mixing, I tend to jump the mixer up and down every so often, while staying within the bowl's parameter in order to prevent the dough from spraying outside of it. Additionally, after mixing for longer amounts of time, take a separate spatula and scrape down the dough on the sides to keep it all evenly mixed, followed by one more round of mixing before continuing with the next step. Afterwards, crack the 2 eggs into the small bowl to avoid creating any shell fragments and to allow for easy removal if so. Then pour 1 egg in at a time, followed by thorough mixing until combined thoroughly. Pour 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and mix until combined. Next, in your separate mid-sized bowl, combine the flour with your salt and baking soda. Lightly mix with a butter knife in order to briefly combine. Next, pour about 1/3 of the mid-sized bowl's dry mixture into the main cookie dough bowl, and proceed to spread the dry mixture out before beginning to mix, in order to prevent anything from being flung by the mixer. After thoroughly mixing, combine the remaining thirds of the mixing bowl with thorough mixing in between. and one last mixing session after scraping the sides of the bowl down until the dough is light and fluffy to your liking. Once the dough is to your standard, take your bag of chocolate chips and dump into your dough mix. Take your spatula and fold the cookies into the dough, starting by pressing them down the sides for more equal initial spreading, then folding the dough over itself until satisfied with the spread of the chocolate chips. If you're like me, feel free to get a quick spoonful of the dough to savor and test for yourself. When ready, preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the oven is warmed up, take 2 tablespoons, one to scoop and one to help drop your cookie dough onto the 2 separate baking sheets. Make sure to leave enough space for them to spread depending on how large you want your cookies to be and how much dough you use. Personally, I use 6 full tablespoon scoops on each tray for larger cookies. For a softer, lighter cookie, stick to around 12 minutes of bake time, though for a darker, crispier cookie, leave for about 14 to 15 minutes. Once done, remove the trays from the oven with proper heat-resistant mitts or protective items and place onto a stovetop or heat-resistant surface. Then, using a flat metal spatula, separate any cookies that may be baked together, and then individually transport the cookies to a separate plate or platter to cool. After about 15 minutes of proper time to cool, feel free to grab a glass of milk and enjoy your hard work. Thank you for your time, and I hope you can enjoy your cookies as much as I enjoy mine.